crypto market has been boring and sideways, but it's still important every once in a while to go in, reassess, take a look at the charts and figure out what you're looking for, set your alarms, and be prepared for whatever might come next. I've got an amazing guest who's been on here roughly 4,373,943 times by now. Of course, TA Master Big Cheds. What we're going to do today is go back to the basics. We're going to take a look at the top 10 coins by market cap, back and forth, discuss what we're each seeing on the chart. If we can't find any trades, at least you can get a bit of an education or see how we look at a naked chart, how we view it, and what we're looking for to find some actionable intelligence for a trade. You guys don't want to miss this one. Let's go.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel. And today I'm going to hit the like button with the liquidator. You guys have seen it. This is where you don't want to be. It's a water gun. It makes this noise, and it will liquidate you, which is what you don't want to do, which is why you need to learn to trade and look at a chart and set a stop loss so that ye shall never be liquidated. Not ye in the Kanye yay sense, but ye being you, the person who keeps probably getting liquidated. Before we get started, of course, as you can see, it is a trading show. Therefore, we have a trading exchange sponsoring. That is Prime XBT. You can get up to a $7,000 bonus. Check them out. Great place for you to do your trading of many, many assets. But as I will always say, giving the caveat, not a custodian, not a bank, self-custody. Only leave on any exchange the coins that you are going to trade with. That's it. Very easy disclaimer there. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the man, the myth, the legend, who's got a whole nother book out. Big Cheds, what's up, man?
Oh, sorry. The Bitcoin price action was so boring. I had to take a nap there.
I thought I was literally like, I think he's sleeping.
I put you to sleep. I keep checking the price, Scott, and great to see you. Hope you had a great holiday. I keep checking the price. It's like 16.8. You go to bed, you wake up, you expect it to move at least $5, but it doesn't. It's ridiculous.
It's been vacillating around the devil's number, 1666666.666.
Spell vacillating. Spell vacillating.
It's spelled like Vaseline, right? Vaseline. It's Vaselining right around 16666. But yes, it has been exceptionally boring. But I do then, as you said, like you and I were talking before, you're like, don't even check the price anymore, right? But I think it is important because I don't even look at charts as much anymore, but I'm way more on top of the market, way sharper, way more prepared for what might come. If I do go ahead and scan the top 10, 20 charts, do 5 charts a day, something like that, they may be completely boring. Right. But at least, hey, if it breaks this level, now I might get interested. Maybe it'll give me a sign that the altcoin market is heating up or that literally anything might happen. Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have a plan in the future to risk money, you want to prepare for it now. I mean, push-ups are boring, but they make you stronger. I mean, all these things we do ahead of time to prepare, are great. So yeah, this will be fun. Let's go through and let's do it, man. I'm ready for it.
I want to do it, but also I see you got a new poster behind you, and I did mention the new book. So go ahead, man. There it is.
Trading quotes. Boom. So I recorded these, so it's on Kindle, hardcover, and paperback. The Audible should be out in a few days. I'm waiting for Amazon to approve it. 365 quotes. It's all my original work. And check out the book. Hopefully you folks will enjoy it. I kind of just worked super hard last year to publish it, and now I want to just hang out and play video games and enjoy life. I've just been grinding it, so that's kind of where I'm at, brother.
Is it your voice on the Audible?
Yeah, same with Trading Wisdom.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's fun.
Sweet,
you gotta do something.
Sweet sounds of Big Cheds. How long does it take to record an audiobook flawlessly?
So this one, so the runtime of the book's like 2 hours, and it took me about 6 weeks. Because I'll record and I'll drink tea and I'll have to re-record it. Did it sound right? Is there gristle in my voice? And you want it to like, is there personality in it? You know what I mean? You want it to be good. So you just keep working it till it gets to where you want it to be.
Well, everybody go read it, go listen to it, do something with it, man. Come on, support the people who have supported you with free content endlessly. But what we're doing today, I mentioned, this is something I used to do all the time. I used to do the top 10 coins. We'd do a stream on metaverse coins or some this and that, and what coins I'm looking at. Chartapalooza we used to do every single Wednesday when the newsletter was not free and I could actually handle incoming requests. I would do a whole stream of like 30 or 40 chart requests in one day. What we're going to do here is just to get, I think, a good gauge of the market, look at the top 10, excluding, of course, stable coins. So for me, that Bitcoin, Ethereum, we skip Tether, USDC, BNB, XRP, we skip BUSD, Doge, ADA, Matic, we're going to skip DAI, Litecoin, Polkadot, and TRX. I was actually, when I just looked,
yeah,
I mean, it shows you how far like Solana, Uniswap, Avalanche, all these. I did not expect TRX to be sort of it's sitting there at 14. Excluding,
well, Dot,
I think,
how is Dot still alive? I'm surprised that's even in there. I thought it was done. You know,
but apparently not. Apparently, it's just this is kind of like, you know, I sort of joke is the prettiest pig in the pen. It's like who's left and didn't fall as far. I guess
that's good enough, bro. We've been there where you like, you know, there's not a lot going on, but one walks through the door and you're like, hey,
yeah,
you know?
That's right. So of course, listen, I think we'll just go back and forth. We don't necessarily need to both show every chart, but we could. You know, I know that you kind of tend to use different indicators these days. This is the Bitcoin daily chart. Like all I see right now when I look at this chart over and over again, it's not even a strategy I use. It's just super sideways in the 50 MA. Right.
Yeah.
Like no matter where the 50 MA goes, that's where price has been since the FTX break. Right.
So like, what's the biggest thing in there, right? Is this just like the breakdown of that 150 days and the rejection on the underside, and now we're just back below it, right?
Yeah, I mean, just still, but we are continually testing it here. And the good news, I guess, is that now we can see, and we'll see this on a lot of charts if we pull them up, at least on the daily, these MAs are starting to flatten out because they were screaming down here for quite a while. And so maybe it gives a little bit of hope that even more sideways price action can get them to turn up slightly and give us an indication that the trend might change. I mean, what are you looking at on Bitcoin? I'll go ahead and pull you up.
I mean, so yeah, we kind of have the same thing, and I see the MA50. I mean, there's a couple things. You know, think about like, let me get my little drawing guy. I mean, you got to go red light's got to go orange before it can go green, right? So that, you know, that makes a lot of sense. There's stage analysis, there's the up, sideways, down, all that. You know, moving averages are more so useless when you're sideways because it's sideways. So of course, all the MAs are sideways. Like, great. So like, that's why moving average crosses aren't as impactful or useful in that market. You know, you want them in like a trending market. You know, for example, the say the 200 screaming down, you want like a 50 coming up and crossing sharply. You know, that type of thing. You know, we're below the 200. This is all price action below the 200. We know that. I just simplify it. You know, try to make the point is we have the range, we broke down from it, came back, retested the underside. So we're below that, and that's the big overhang. So that's easy to identify, and I drew that box. 18.2, we have a real lack of volatility, but 150 days sideways, now another 50 days sideways, and we kind of zoom in the Bollinger Bands. They haven't been this tight, Scott, since July of 2020.
Right. And we said, which is funny because we were saying that in October when you were on, and they're tighter now. I mean, if you look at the way they're clamping at this moment, I mean, this is going to be absurd.
It's getting crazy. Yeah, they're really tight here. And they were tight here for a while. It's abnormal to be this tight for this long too, which is weird. And now we're even tighter than that. So, you know, it's still, for me, we're still in the no man's land, below 18.2 and above 12K. I mean, people are looking at 14K. For me, that's a little bit premature. I think, you know, what was that? And Happy Gilmore, like go to your home or whatever. I mean, just 12K is the home.
Good for your home. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's like 12K, still think we're headed there, you know, but if we don't, we got to get back up above 18K. I can go long there. So we're still kind of in the no man's land, you know, kind of in between these two areas for me. You know, there's a little bit more action in some of these altcoins. You know, we'll get to that, but Bitcoin, we're just waiting. That, you know, the weekly chart's still horrible. You know, below the prior cycle high, below the MA200, below all the moving averages. You know, daily chart is just apathy kind of at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I have the Bollinger Band chart as well. I mean, this is just since it's only the bands on here. Interesting also that all of this price action has been below that center line, right? It just basically it's tight, but it, you know, this is boring and then this is now resistance and is above that line.
Yeah.
But these, I mean, this is getting insanely tight. You can see that when we had that sideways price action in October, that it only did this for like 2 days before you got some actual volatility where it really clamped down like that. So maybe we'll see something exciting.
It's not, I mean, it's not surprising though, right? Because we're coming off of like the last week, everyone's vacation and stuff. It's like historically low volatility, like week anyway. So it's not all that surprising, really not much has been going on for the last week or two. But I think fireworks is coming. You follow the FA a lot more than I do. We got all that stuff with Genesis going on potentially. So it'd be very interesting to see that all play out. Maybe that will be a catalyst.
Yeah, hopefully in the right direction and not the wrong one. The only last thing worth looking at, you kind of mentioned the weekly, and I've showed this before, but we just don't show it very often. We do have like the tail end of, we had this bullish divergence. We haven't seen a hidden bearish divergence since, and RSI is still pushing against this resistance. I would imagine if we get a break through RSI, we might get a sizable move. Listen, I'm not like, people are like cheering for 69,000. When I say sizable, I'm like, maybe we could get to like 19 or 20, man,
Yeah, that'd be epic. I mean, it's funny how I think about this. It's funny how, back in the day, it 40K was bullish and, but now it's like 19K would seem so bullish. Once it gets down, even a little, even like 17.8 would be like, whoa, 18K. And so they get us, whoever that is, they get us to accept drop 5,000, then we bounce to, and it feels great. And that's how these things slowly kind of drift down. So
which is exactly why people's portfolios go down 95%, because you get just enough hope each time not to sell the bounce.
That's right. I mean, I've done that too. I've zeroed out like at least 3 portfolios. So I've ridden them, and I get it. I get that. Yeah,
we've all been there. So now I think we should move on, take a look at Ethereum, which is
okay. It's boring,
but
it's got a cleaner setup.
It does have a cleaner setup. I'm just saying, same that it's the flattening 50. The 200 is actually curling up, by the way, on slightly, the very slightest. I'll take what I can get, but right here again at the 50, that was the same rejection we saw in the Bitcoin chart after the breakdown from FT.
Yep. I've got my level. Where are you going long in this one? You all the way up there at 2K, or what's your?
I mean, I don't think quite that high. I think I would consider it above maybe these highs here, like the between 1350 and 14, maybe, but only targeting the 16s.
Sure, I mean that's a great trade.
I don't know. What are you thinking?
I like 1420. I've been kind of watching that, the bottom of this support range, top of this resistance, where it failed to hold here on the way down. Because if I get above this level, I've cleared both the prior support level that was lost and the MA 200. So you get a really nice clean trigger level, whereas with Bitcoin, it's not as clean. If I can switch back just briefly to make the point, if we, crack 18.2, you've got the MA 200 just overhead where it rejected, back in April. So Ethereum's got a little bit cleaner kind of a trigger level, 1420, 1430, at least kind of the way I'm looking at it. And I think you very confidently go long around, 1420, 1430.
Yeah, the 200 MA is way further apart on the.
It's way further apart. And look, that's where it rejected Ethereum November. That's where it rejected back in April. So you've got, some reason to go long if it can flip that.
Yeah, I like that. That's a pretty much exactly what I'd be looking at. Basically 14. I mean, you can call it 1400. I think the 200 MA right now, but it'll curl up maybe is like 1385.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's generally the better. I mean, it's the higher beta asset, right? And I think if you ask like a lot of the smarter people looking to maybe stack that one this year more than Bitcoin, I mean, I don't know, just because.
Have you looked at ETH BTC at all? I'm
not recently. It's been in a tightening range, right? I haven't checked in like a week. I know it's had kind of a real tightening range. What is all this? I have too many squiggles. You come back and you're like, what was I looking at? But I mean, you can just visually see it. You can just see that right tightening range. So we'll see. Probably, I would say probably does resolve up just kind of based on the natural momentum here. And then maybe test these upper range. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it right now. Is this what you were talking about there on the daily?
Yeah, exactly.
I have that triangle there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is that it's coming so close to the apex and hasn't made a move.
That's true.
Like true. You get these and you're like, you see people are like, I'm really excited, and then it does.
Well, that's I mean that's a great
What are
point.
those the squiggle outs? Because usually you want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean it
2/3
won't,
of
but
the
you usually
way.
want to see it break. 2/3, 66%,
That's exactly right.
70%, something like that.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I mean that's what the textbooks will tell you, right? The closer you get kind of to that apex, the more useless the break is.
Yeah, maybe it's
But
more like that. I mean, not that you're a diagonal guy, but
sure.
maybe it's more like that. Maybe you're pulling it from the top, and
I mean,
that
that's just a
and
trend.
the
You're
support
identifying
isn't.
a trend. It's not even, yeah, it's a good point. You have that greater trend, which is just that series of lower highs. And so if you see one of those broken, that would be suggestive of potentially kind of increasing Ethereum strength versus Bitcoin, which has been, historically the trend.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think next, if I'm looking ahead to take my AirPods off there, they were glitching. I think we got BNB next.
BNB. All right.
Much maligned. I don't even need RSI. I haven't even looked at these, by the way. I'm just pulling them up from like the last time. I think I was expecting when this area broke for a move up to like 437 or even up to the golden pocket, and it just kind of didn't happen. Because
Yeah.
this level, I mean, so many tops and bottoms in this area between like 336 and
330.
325. I mean,
Yeah, you
all
make a
those
great
tops.
point.
I
Yeah.
thought that break there, this was going to be the retest that was going to send it, up to maybe this area, somewhere between 50 and 60%, 450, something like that. And it just didn't happen. And now I don't really know.
So that's a great example of managing risk, right? Like, so you would have gone long in that break, but then you would have had to cut the position when it went back below that level 330. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of those things where the chart can give you what looks like it's just an A+ setup, but you have to be able to react to that new information. And so, the inability to hold over 330, I mean, no bueno. And then, from there, you see how it dropped down to that, so I had the same thing in my chart. You have that, the height of the move where the mean reversion's rejected, all price action below the 200, another rejection there. Now you've identified a level, boom, you're bouncing into it, and you're kind of bouncing into it here in November, expecting it to fade. It doesn't. You go long, you come back below, you exit your long. Back to range lows. They held, then they failed. And now we had an underside retest and rejection and likely drift down, from here.
Yeah.
I think it's just a drift down on BNB right now, be my best guess.
That's what it looks like. Interesting. I pulled the 50 and 200 because I didn't even have them on there. This is sort of to your point about playing the crosses when it's sideways and choppy. There was a golden cross and then a death cross.
Great. Woo!
Completely not actionable, right?
I
But
know.
you do have the 50 actually pushing down here. I would say you can't even look at this below sort of this, you could call it
Exactly right.
250, 256, but this is a very well-defined resistance area right here, and this looks like bearish consolidation.
It's like any it's like anything. It's like anything you can buy or sell. When you have a well-defined area of buyers and all of a sudden it loses that support, like you can't ignore that. Like it's important to identify that level that was lost, 250, 260.
Right, I was gonna say you could almost like make a pennant out of this, but I think it's just it's played out too long.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. I mean, pennant, whatever. It's still a tightening range. You're still identifying that. I would probably ignore that lower wick and draw the, pull it up the way you did initially. No, you were just the way you first did it before you adjusted it. Because you kind of want to, then you get the majority of kind of the range and you say, okay, I have a tightening range. And so that's still the case. And what you have is a tightening range after move down, likely to continue down, in my view.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that or get particularly excited. I know you're going to be super excited about the next one, though.
Which one is it? TRX or XRP?
It's XRP.
XRP. How many E's on the end of that? Is it XRP with 2 E's?
It's XRP. Yeah, at least.
Sorry, guys. Just a little juvenile. We haven't grown up yet. So.
No. I mean, I'm looking at my old, I guess, weekly chart. I haven't even looked at XRP and anything lower than a weekly, and you had that massive breakdown.
Whoa!
I mean, here you did have this sort of a bottoming move, but that
was that weekly
starting it, so not too inspired. And now you're back below. I mean, this is just fucking death in a chart, right? I mean, you get above resistance.
Well, we've seen that a lot. We saw that a lot, like in the market. What's up with that candle yesterday on the 2nd of January?
I didn't even look at the daily. Here, dude, let me go to your chart. You can look.
Yeah, what is this?
Did something happen? People might know. I didn't look.
That's what I want to know.
Maybe something happened with the SEC.
What, the football thing? Something with football?
Yeah,
Come.
like Alabama probably beat XRP in the shitty bowl, the City
so
Walk Bowl.
I'm having
Yeah,
too much
yeah.
fun here, but what is that? That's a huge rate. It's like 15% range, whatever. I don't, 30 to 35 cents. And it's a spring. You have a false, you have a, you have a higher low, very gentle, higher low, and then you lose it, recapture it. That's interesting. I wonder what happened. And there's volume on it too. So that's kind of that's a notable candle, I think.
Yeah, for
You
some
know,
reason mine's on Bitfinex, but this is basically the biggest volume candle since May.
yeah.
I mean, that's not a joke. Like that's real volume here, even
Sure.
bigger than FTX dump.
So it'll be interesting. You need follow through. It's like the beginnings. And so like if the bulls don't bounce here, they're pretty much, that's no bueno. Like that's a great start to some type of a small to medium type of a move, maybe up to like 38, 39 cents. And if it doesn't, then you're in real trouble because look at the long lower shadow. That's just buyers jumping in, rejecting lower prices, getting back up above lost support. This is something you'd look for and you say, okay, I'm getting long here at 33.30, 33.5 cents. Intra-session, you watch the support break, come back to recapture. You could drop to it in a lower time frame. You see it right there. You get the volume coming in. You're like, oh, okay, I'm interested. Boom, I'm back in. And now you have your stop loss, moved up a little bit into profit. So if bulls are going to do something, it needs to happen right here off of that candle. I mean, we step back and, obviously we don't want to look at one daily candle and make a decision. You go to the weekly chart. What's the weekly chart doing on
Yeah,
the
that's I
USDT
had the
pair?
weekly pulled up originally. I wasn't even looking at that. I mean,
Yeah,
that would be an epic weekly candle, but
that would be. It's just basically back in demand zone. I mean, it's been
yeah, I
demand
was gonna
zone
say, but it's not
multi-year,
sending you
right?
anywhere. It's just right back to where it was last week.
Multi-year. It's found its true like the market. It's amazing. The market is wise, right? And the market says it's worth 30 to 35 cents. So here we are. And it's been there for years. So
It actually, I mean, just like looking at this, like if you were just looking at the naked chart or whatever, all these highs, right? Kind of to your
all
point.
these highs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not looking at mine. Like, I just made this red thing, but I mean, look, it
sure.
literally has been the price forever.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at this. This was always there. This is the top of every single move through
Boom.
2020 and 19.
So now you see why it wants to hold on the way back down, right? That's a big spot. Like if it's below 30 cents, I think it's in serious trouble,
Yeah,
kind of based on what you've drawn there, your pink box.
yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, do you have any interest in XRP ever?
I mean, I'll trade anything. I actually hold zero crypto right now. So I'm not going to be like XRP is not, I'm not going to start with XRP.
Like, I just can't wait for XRP to make a move so I can finally get back in crypto.
I honestly, and just the, ju- I, no, I'm not going to elaborate. I was going to go into a little bit of a diatribe about the behavior of some of the market participants and how that kind of pushes me away from it. When people are into something so much, it makes me say, wait, this is a little bit sketchy, all the maxis when they're super maxi and something. I'm like, you know what? Someone's feeding you a line. You've bought into it and all that. So, but I hope they do really well and maybe they win the court case and XRP's, the next Bitcoin, which is great because we need.
Well, I think regardless of your thoughts on XRP,
Yeah.
everyone should want them to win because whatever that thing that you're so passionate about is going to probably be deemed a security alongside them if they go down. So Kelly Kellum, what's up, Kelly? Has an amazing crypto answered, amazing Twitter Spaces. If you guys haven't listened, also a fellow ex-New York City DJ, Kelly, who says, "Is it the XRP team pushing price up to get a better price to offload some of those XRP they just unlocked?" I mean, I can't speak to whether that is the case or not. I can just tell you that they did that for years, but I would say they're heavily scrutinized now. I mean, the biggest problem with XRP was literally like, if you're an on-chain analyst, is that every time price would go up, you'd see the XRP like treasury move coins to an exchange and sell. They took it like they were selling every single bounce. So I can't imagine with the SEC watching them right now that they would still be doing that.
I think, as a retail participant, it's useless to kind of try to figure that all out. I mean, end of the day, you're still basing your risk or your trade based on the price holding support or not. And I think we get too caught up in, I get these questions. I'm sure you get them from people. It's like, oh, are whales doing this and are so-and-so doing that? Like,
I don't know.
Who cares? What does that matter? Like you have a trade in front of you and you have to trade based on the information in the chart. Price is above support. It's above the level I think it should be above and all that. You know, too much speculation outside of the chart leads to bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
It's definitely possible, but I don't think it's actionable to, guess whether that is the case or not. I guess would be the
They'll
best.
probably win though, aren't they? I hear they're probably going to win their case. What do you think? The
I
court
hope
case.
so, but yet again, not informed enough to speculate.
Yeah,
But I
I
can
have
say
no
that it
idea.
looks a hell of a lot better than it's only progressed in a positive direction, I would say, since the beginning.
Good. All
That's what I
right.
got.
Well,
That's
we're
what I got.
cheering for him. We're definitely cheering for him.
So now I know the next coin you are feeling just dying to get into. You got a Doge chart there?
I do. Is it Doge or just Dog E?
It's Doge, man.
Sounds like a strain of weed, honestly.
Yeah, like you do, just smoking that good Doge.
That good Doge,
Or
bro.
bed
Get the
puts you right
keef
to
on
sleep.
top. I mean, it's not good. It's the classic, rocket ship slow bleed. Losing the MA200, losing support here. I mean, I think it's going to about 5.7, 5.8, probably range lows. I don't know what you think, but it's not. And I made a comment on this in Bitcoin Live, and I talked about how Twitter, Elon buying Twitter, it's easy, like how easy it is to get wrapped up in a good narrative. And I almost was like, maybe I should get a bag, because what if like every transaction's got to be Doge and Twitter, and what if he makes it, the currency of Mars or whatever? And it's like it's very easy to get caught up in a narrative quickly, because especially after a big price move. And 9 times out of 10, stay away, because it's gonna fizzle away.
Yeah, I mean, it reverted right back to the mean,
Yeah.
basically, when you're looking at it. I mean, is there anything that would get you excited about this? I mean, for me, I'm just looking at it like now it would have to be like, I think,
I
back
don't
above
trust Doge
15
pumps.
cents. I mean,
Yeah,
here's
you
my
tell
chart.
me. Yeah, I agree. I
Back
agree
above
on that.
16 cents. I mean, that's it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that was that
Right.
was all the support here,
Mhm.
right? Of all the early moves in
There it is.
21. And
There it
that's
is.
now that is as precise a tap on resistance as you can basically get there. So
Yeah, I mean, long term, if it's going to $1, it's gonna cross 16 cents or whatever, right? This one's hard for me to trade as kind of a pure TA guy, because someone like Elon can just with a tweet shoot it up or shoot it down. It's one of these that is much more much more sensitive to externalities or kind of weird, kind of out of the chart stuff. So I'm never really going to get too excited, because when I find myself excited about Doge is when it's probably going to take my money and drift back down. It's after those pumps is when I get excited.
Yeah, I think I sold mine at a penny because Doge was never going to go higher than a
Yeah,
penny. So cool. I
there's
think
some
we did a
Doge millionaires out
calculation.
there.
I've talked about this. I think it was last
Yeah.
year, because
Yeah.
people don't remember, but let me bring it up. But Doge Bitcoin chart. You've probably all know this by now, but I mean, the Doge cycle, if you were here earlier, I mean, used to be the easiest trade in the world.
Sure.
Literally, let's have it marked here, right? You have this pump, you would sell it, it would come back to 15 to 20 sats, something like, down here is 15, this is 21.36.
My screen's up, not yours.
But oh, sorry. Thanks.
You got it, brother.
Look, this is before Elon Musk, right? And you only traded Doge against Bitcoin because a USDT pair didn't exist.
Right.
And so like you had just these these are like loosely drawn lines, but you would just have this major pump bleed out, just like you're saying now, major pump bleed out, but you could always just buy it at 25 sats, wait till it was at 120 or 180 and sell it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
It was a meme coin. It was a complete joke. And it literally was like the most highly manipulated coin in the world. And you knew if you just bought it when it dropped, that someone would pump it at some point, whoever the someone is. And so to me, like, when it did this again, I was like, I'm out. It's there. And then this is what the chart looks like.
Is Bitcoin a meme coin now or what? I mean, what's the deal, brother?
Like, I don't think so. But
okay,
I mean, looking at this is what those pumps look like now.
Yes.
Look at what happened with Elon. These were massive when the chart was only those.
Goodness.
There were these absolutely huge waves. But so for me, like, I just can't get past the fact that mentally it was always just a joke that you could trade for free money in these like 6-month cycles. I just can't.
For me though, there's no difference between this and like DOT or anything. These are all vehicles for speculation. Link. I mean, I get, there's dev teams, and I know I sound like an idiot to someone who's like a developer or whatever, but they're all just meme coins. They're all just vehicles for speculation. That's how you have to treat them. These aren't future these aren't companies. These aren't projects. I disdain the word project. So, it's the ebb and flow of the timing of when you can have a beautiful bounce and you can ride it. And you know, Doge is a fun one, but it's a really tough one to trade,
I
honestly.
agree. I agree because of Elon Musk. It was much easier
Yeah.
before he got involved. And guess what we get to do next? Cardano.
Okay. Oof. Oof. Oof.
This one's
Oof.
brutal to me. I'll let you go. Okay, I'll go because while you're pulling it
Yeah.
up.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's this big blue line, whatever. We're nowhere near it,
Sure.
so it's irrelevant. But like, we
Yeah.
had this descending triangle that I pointed out many times. I
Broke
think I
down.
actually drew this when it was here,
Mm.
and it did break down and
Mhm.
basically hit the target of that, though, the
That's
depth of that
true.
triangle. So that would
That's
have been
true.
around 23 cents. It got to, it looks like 23.9.
So maybe it goes sideways for a while now and, you know, forms another one,
I
right?
would almost guarantee, I'm not gonna like put my life on it, but I would almost guarantee there's bullish divergence here on the daily.
Oh, let's
Almost.
see it. Let's see it.
Ah, I missed. Yes, there is.
Whoop, whoop.
Pretty big.
Let's see. OBV, not OBV yet, but OBV does have some broader divergence going back to May.
Maybe
But
looking at this. I've seen enough charts, man.
yeah, right.
I've seen some things in my day
Yeah, you have.
to know that that was going to be there. But then again, this is hidden bearish divergence.
It's a
That's
knife,
a
right?
slightly higher high, and that's a lower high. So sorry, guys, don't get excited.
It's a knife, right, Scott? I mean, this is a knife. This is a
I'm
knife.
bringing you up. Go ahead.
It's just a knife, right? I mean, it's just a falling knife. I mean, I remember ADA was awesome back here. And I remember trading the head and shoulders failure where you had kind of the complex wide left and the narrow right. And then we kind of invalidated the right shoulder and everyone and their mother. I mean, like JC Peretz went long and ADA, like all these like traditional folks were playing it. And then we went like, you know, a buck up to 3 and does it hold? Does it, you know, MA 200, does it hold? Underside retest rejection, underside retest rejection, boom. And it's just been, you know, slow bleed, oof, 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 oof. And here we are. Just a super clean, you know, range break. You illustrated that, but this gave you a beautiful short trade here in October, right? The bounce right back into the underside, right? Super textbook pullback or bearish underside retest. You know, if you want to play it, just go long above like 43 cents. If you can get back up above there, I think you've got a nice little trade. If you can get back up into this
40,
range.
but because of the way that it, I
Sure.
agree with you. Because of the way it broke back above that 40 and got all the way up to 43.9, that's really
right there.
the break. Now I agree with you.
You know,
That's why,
maybe
like,
it's.
I think it's so important for people in general, like, to utilize areas and not lines.
It's not a line. Yeah, I mean, a line, it's not about a line, it's a collection of lines. It's a zone. It's a generalized, you know, area of demand and supply. You have to be more flexible. Rigidity will just, you know, you'll be broken, right? But
Yeah.
like several sticks together.
Yeah, I mean,
stronger together.
You look at mine, and right. So that line was very clear on the breakdown, but you might
Yeah.
have stopped out on the, you know, coming back up and missed that short.
Yeah.
Like if you had a tight stop and you were shorting 40 cents, you're probably stopped out 10% above that, right? At 44.
Which is okay though.
agree
I
with
don't
you,
mind
though.
that because you can re-enter that though
Yeah, right.
when
You
it gets
re-enter
back
it
below,
here
right?
when it retests it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you up. What
So I mean, but like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, what do you do with it other than just nothing? Just watch it, unless where's, you know, you get another short trade maybe if you bounce, you know, into like 30 cents into the underside of this lost support. Maybe that's a short setup too. You know, pay attention to that. So other than that, I would do nothing.
What about like well, it's not that much meat on the bone, but what about
Yeah.
like, you know, above, call it this 29 cents right here? Or is that just not as
Above
clear
29? Yeah,
enough?
sure. 20 and 30, sure. I think there's a thesis there because you recapture the moving averages, you recapture some lost support.
Something like that.
But I would be more likely to want to short it, right? But if it fails, maybe I'd look to go long. But I'm not longing downtrends. I'm not going
Right. Right. It's just
you
in the
know,
downtrends, you're not looking for a long.
yeah, I'm looking to fade a bounce rather than to kind of long a knife.
That's been working for you for as long as I can now remember, seemingly. So it's fine.
It's just I lost all my money adding to most of it, adding to losers and guessing when trends reverse. And it's just worked for me to avoid doing that. So that's what I try to practice what I preach.
I mean, I got Matic up next, holy sideways.
All right, let's see. I think
I
I
mean,
just
we
have
did
this
have
in
that
a
inverse head and
range.
shoulders. The target was 140 and it got
Oh,
to
sure.
130.
Yeah, nice little bounce from those June lows. And so let's kind of clean it up. I have a lot of.
I'm gonna
You
take a
go ahead.
look
No, you
here.
go ahead. You go first. You go first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much on it, honestly. You don't get. I mean, this is I like Matic a lot, by the way. Oh,
Do you?
Well, I mean, if you're going to choose I mean, they continually, Instagram partnerships and projects moving to them. I mean, I just think there's a good narrative there. I just like them in general if you're going to pick one. But I mean, come on.
Pick one. What? Like is it like
A
a
narrative,
layer or
you know what I mean?
something?
Something that
Oh, I see.
actually like has continued. Listen, you've seen a lot
Yeah.
of things just kind of die in this bear market, and there's only good
Yeah.
news generally for Polygon fundamentally. I know
Okay.
it's not your thing, but like they are legitimately
Sure.
continuing to do new partnerships. You just keep hearing them in the news. It's one of the only positives that we have. So if I was going to be looking to get into something, this would be it. But I mean, holy boring. Look at that. I mean, what do you do with that?
Yeah. Well, it's at least above the range. It's above the height of your. Let me clean it up, and so I
Yeah.
can just simplify. The most important thing, in my opinion, is the fact that it's kind of holding.
Well, this is the only
level.
one that is still above that where I drew that inverse head and shoulders, kind of above the, we'll call it 70 cents-ish area, I assume is what you're going to draw, but we'll see.
You did. Yeah, it's above 70. It's kind of right at the 200. It's sideways, which is your first step towards going up. For me as a trader, I mean, yeah, you could try to buy the range low, 72 cents. But it's, where's your breakout level? Maybe right here. You can kind of draw that as maybe a level of interest. And so it's just chopping in between that. There's a lot of noise. Maybe you zoom out, look at the weekly chart and kind of get a little bit of a different perspective there. And it's just churning through this big move down from like whatever, $3 down. That's a big cut, $3.50. And so you say, what needs to hold in order to build the chart and stair step? It's got to hold support, right there, 72 cents. And then maybe you can stair step from there. All the news comes out. It's good. And kind of stair step and then hold the next level and kind of stair step, maybe and hold the next level. And we'll see, but it has to hold here, to kind of get anything going.
Yeah, I'm cleaning mine up. You mentioned on the weekly, I was going to take a look at it on that. And it's actually like, I mean, as much as you don't want to hear it, like there's a very clear defined area. I will call it area $1.30-ish.
Sure.
Like, right. Maybe I should draw a zone in my own, what we were talking about. But that's where this whole move started, stopped. That was the bottom of all these moves, that area kind of top here. So, I mean, really, as much as you don't want to hear it, if you're a bull, like I think that's where you really start to consider real longs.
Oh, above 130. I mean, you're in really good shape. I mean,
That was that October high.
Yeah. And that's like you pointed out, the lows from March of 2022, March and April. So yeah, I mean, you recapture that level. That's a strong momentum signal. And then that would make all this just kind of a temporary deviation, resume the uptrend. It will be interesting to see if any alts can do something here, because of the kind of overhang of Bitcoin and crypto, generally. Which is why why do we even look? Well, we look because there is relative strength, and you will find ones that will just buck the trend, and maybe this will be it. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. We got 3 left. I'm hearing a lot of Litecoin chatter. You?
Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I think Litecoin's one of the better looking charts. For me, it's
like
above. If it walks like a duck, it's a little choppy. But if I kind of just generally describe it as a 7-month rounding bottom with a generalized peak around 70K, we broke up above it, came back below, set up for a short. The short failed. We have another higher low, higher low, higher low. Now we're back up above the trigger levels. I'm just simplified it. I'm bullish above $70 on Litecoin. It looks better than Matic. It's way above the 200. It's above the top of this, top of the range. So above 70, I would give bulls the edge on Litecoin. It looks okay.
75. So does that mean it's time to actually
YOLO bolo? Put on your bolo, and then YOLO.
Okay, let's say you bought it here at 75, even though it's kind of in no man's land.
Oh no, I wouldn't buy it here.
Where would you stop me?
Here. If I bought it, below 70, maybe like $68.
Yeah,
I'd probably cut it at like 68.
Yeah, it's a really interesting chart. I'm trying to take a look at it now. I don't know.
It's just a big range.
To me,
you broke up above that. It'd be like it'd be like, sorry to interrupt, Scott. It'd be like if BTC broke above its 150-day range from June and like FTX didn't happen, we'd be above it now. That instead we're down here, right? Bitcoin's down here and Litecoin's up there. It just is what it is.
Yeah, no, if you're looking for relative strength, there's no question here. I'm just looking at how I had it drawn was this major range, which by the way is just too dramatic. That's too dramatic. That's from $370 22.
Yeah.
So, but like in my view, that's very kind of defined at $90 ish here. That I want, if I was looking for something longer term.
90.
I want to flip that and
Sure.
really get the big move
Absolutely.
targeting.
Oh,
But I do
longer
agree with you
term.
that kind of
Yeah.
67 level was the top of
Sure.
all of this, which is what you're talking about.
That'd be your at level. If you were in at 70 and it broke above 90, 95, you would add to your position. You know what I mean? That'd be one of those kind of average up, you know, type of situations like you identified. Litecoin's fun, man, because it's got that higher beta, right? Because of Bitcoin, it's easier to make a higher percentage move, you know, because of the lower dollar amount. And so it's above. This is super, super messy. But like I said, let me just draw and illustrate the point I tried to make. Above 70, and then Scott talked about, you know, if we kind of get back up above this range. So if you're long here, you can average up,
Right.
boom,
And that
if it
might be your
goes,
target.
or you'd take it, you know, it should pause there, but if it doesn't, you say, okay, I'm going to average up and add to the position. At that point, okay, someone calling me, not important. Gutter cleaners. I love it though. I don't want to get up there. Are you kidding me? I hate that. On the ladder, there's a million gutters. Anyway, that's a different story.
I'm not cleaning gutters. Not. I'm 46 years old, bro. That's a broken.
I do the lower
woman.
ones. I just don't want to do the ones anyway. So that's what you do, right? You would average up there, right? Above 90, 95.
So I
But
think
then
right now, Litecoin of everything we've looked at is the only one that's like
Yeah.
sparked a little bit of interest or turned on a light bulb.
We should talk Sol though, even though it's not a
We
top
will.
whatever. That's an interesting one.
You want to do it
Let's
right now?
add that
That's
to the
fine.
yeah.
We
Let's
go
do
off
it. Well,
script. We're crazy here.
let's go. Yo, we'll do it live.
Crazy
Fuck
here. You
it,
never
we'll do
know
it
what we're
live.
gonna do.
We'll do it
Why they
live.
watch? You just don't know.
How about Sol?
Yeah, go ahead.
What are we doing? I mean, this will be interesting. I mean, it's I mean, the thing is like what is that like the biggest bounce is coming downtrends? You know what I mean? Where you have like,
we're getting that.
and we're getting that, but it's back up above. I was thinking you should be fading this 11, 12, but we're back up above that. So I'm kind of paying attention, getting back up in the range. This is what we want Bitcoin to do, right? To get back up above 18, K 18.2. Sol is doing that. What, I'm curious to hear your read, but I'm constructive on this above, really $11 and a half dollars.
I wouldn't even, I don't even need to pull up a chart. It would look exactly the same, basically. I think that like the defined down move, there was a descending triangle there as well, kind of, that was forming, let's look, kind of the same idea that we had on ADA, right? And this one massively overshot because of all the FUD and SBF and FTX and all of that. But like, and we hit a bottom here, 797. I mean, that's insane. A. And B, and then Vitalik Buterin tweets. I don't know if you saw that, but he basically said, listen, like the bad actors are out, the VCs are flushed, and there's a lot of people building, and that starts a new uptrend, right? I mean,
do you think he loaded his bags?
Is going to continue to exist, which I actually do.
Right.
I mean, I should have bought this at $8. I don't know what I was saying.
It's the power of, what does that say about our space? And this is back to like Elon and Doge. Like, what does that say about our space? The power of like an individual to put out a tweet and to kind of, this is a crazy candle, the high wave spinning top.
I agree.
Right after this move down, the volatility, indecision, kind of potentially pivot candle, and boom, 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 one soldier, two soldiers.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a third soldier. We'll see.
What I find interesting in this case, though, Doge, like Elon Musk kind of memes it. Like if literally he says the word Doge, it goes up. Yeah. In this case, it was, the founder of Ethereum, who obviously has no vested interest in Solana doing well. Right. I think he just said what was obvious.
Free association.
People needed to hear it from someone that like, this is just irrational at this point. Nothing has changed particularly. I mean, yes, a few NFT projects left and, but there's still, if there's a robust developer community, I know you don't give a shit, but I'm saying like, if there's a robust developer community, this should not be, 50, 60, 70% more wrecked than everything else. Just
do you think he just loaded his bags, or he's just like an advocate for the space and he's just being like, honest,
I don't think he loaded his bags. I don't think that, I don't know. I think, honestly, I just think that this is one of those, it's a bear market bounce to me. It is not like a renewed bull market for Sol. It was just one of those that was so irrationally wrecked that eventually sellers were going to be exhausted and buyers were going to step in, and you see this. But I mean,
so we shorted 15
candles. This daily candle right now is
pretty sick. But we're shorting 15, right? Upper Bollinger.
You're not touching. I'm not touching it now.
Yeah, I was short at 15.
The time to buy this was when it launched from 10, or if you caught the wick. You know what I mean?
Caught the wick, or even 11, 12. But I would be interested in shorting at 15. That's the thing. You get some really strong bounce in a downtrend, And if it doesn't stop at 15, you have to go long above 15. I mean, that's a big level. It should reject here, right? Not only are you back in the bottom of the range, but if now you break the top of the range, so Sol's interesting. We should definitely, glad we talked about it because it's one of the more interesting or even playable altcoins right now.
Yeah, because there's a narrative, which is the negative narrative, but it still gives volatility, and all you need is volatility. That's interesting. Where would you put? I mean, so basically,
Tell me.
if you get above 15, you're stopping out somewhere between 16 and 17, probably. But then you're
for long or short? For short?
If you were trying to short 15.
Yeah, maybe 1550. I'm not sticking around.
1550, 16, you're out, but then you buy the retest of 15.
Oh, and the throwback, sure.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
You have a very easily defined short and a very easily defined long.
It's like, Scott, we could play a million charts. You want to play a chart that gives you a well-defined level. This is a well-defined level, really, $15. And that's all you can look for.
It may not work,
long,
but it's the
may
best
not work.
for.
That's your best bet. Yeah, it's your best shot.
Oh man, DOT is brutal. I'm pulling it up right now. If we're gonna just finish up DOT and TRX is all we got left. I know you gotta go.
This is gross.
I mean, 456. Look at it. I'm just trying to even maybe we can get it on the weekly.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean,
yeah.
I'm assuming it's not really.
It went back home. This one went back home, right?
Yeah, this went back home, and it's coming. I mean, this underside retest of like such a long ago area of support is just disgusting. Look at that.
There are people who believe in it, and I hope they work out. And
me too. We're just talking about charts here, people. People get triggered and be like, but the layer 0 and the
I know, right?
The sun was in my eyes. I don't know. It's what do you got on this? I don't even know.
I mean, I'm just we're thinking back because we've kind of, we've pretty much tracked this all the way down, all the way up. It's what we do. And I mean, you just had a massive, most recently, this is recently, I guess a year, December now, a year ago. So you had this support attempted kind of double bottom, right? This attempted double bottom here. We all see that. Hopefully everyone sees that. We go, woo, 1, woo, 2, nope, come back, fail, underside, perfect retest, rejection, underside, perfect. So you had opportunities to get out, and then retest rejections really strong. So that tells us that's a big level in the future, 23. I mean, it's way above here. So, we keep that in mind. And then you get another support break, boom, underside retest rejection, boom. It's been a clean, it's been super clean. And then here, look at this, support, underside, retest, rejection. So this is really controlled selling. It needs to hold here, 3.5. But
this is it. There's no more support to find support on.
Yeah, it's going to Goblin Town, man, or it's already here.
I honestly, until we just looked at it, I didn't realize that it really, this is back to the beginning. But
it's still top 10, which just because there's so many circulating tokens, right?
Yeah, just because there's a lot of tokens, which
it makes it harder to. Same with ADA. Isn't there like a trillion ADA? It's a problem with these. They're bloated.
Yeah, right? And the problem with and that's why I kind of always make the joke, and people get triggered because they're maximalists. Like the best performing coins of the next cycle will be coins you've never heard of yet.
Never heard of.
There's not a huge amount of people looking to sell on every single bounce because they have PTSD and are completely wrecked from days past.
I think I first heard that point from, I listened to like a Good Spaces with Trader Main and Crypto Cred, and they made that point, and I was like, that's so true. And I'm like, it's just so true.
You're like holding fucking EOS right now, and it goes up 100%. You can't tell me every person holding it's not selling at the opportunity to get something. You know what I mean? The darlings of the previous bull markets, it just really doesn't mean they won't go up. It just means like, why buy the thing with all the selling pressure instead of the one with all the buying pressure? It seems obvious.
It's now like
TRX last, by the way.
Oh, here comes the sun. Justin, his honorable
like an ambassador now, and he is bailing out exchanges.
What is it? HFSP, have fun staying poor, son, or is it His Excellence? HE.
I think he's an excellency now.
He's an excellency. I don't know about. He's an interesting character. I don't know about anyway. But anyway, I don't trust the guy. Do you remember when they did the TRX had like the upside down? Like years ago, they did like an investors thing, and it was that they zoomed upside down It was a very famous meme at the time, and it's like, what is
yeah.
going?
And when he bought lunch with Warren Buffett, those were my favorites.
Yes,
Yeah,
which I think people can make a
I like that.
reasonable
Yeah.
defense of that. I'm sure you could, but
He was trying, man. He was trying.
he's trying. It's all you
He's
can
trying
do.
to help.
He's a try. Is he a try hard?
I think he's a tryhard. He's super rich though, so
Look
he
at the
might
weekly
quietly
chart
be like
bullish.
the richest guy around and
Richest
whatever.
guy around. It's It's weekly chart bullish though, right? It's above the 200. It's rising 200.
Yeah, I was gonna say this doesn't look so bad.
Not weekly. You step out and you're like, all right. Depends when you got in. I mean, because I remember this was like a penny, 2 pennies back in November 17th, November 2017. Litecoin was $30. I mean, it's up here 5 cents. That's not too shabby, you know. But that's time horizon, right? Right now it's in a downtrend, daily downtrend, slow drift. You can just kind of see it below support. What is that? That
I have it at like 5.5 cents.
Yeah, 5.5 cents below that. That's not good. You need to kind of get back up above that. You can kind of draw a
one
little
thing I do
downtrend
like about
line.
that as you're drawing it is that at least it looks like it's putting some pressure on support, on resistance, and making higher lows doing it. Kind of has an ascending triangle vibe.
Ascending triangle. Sure. Let me
I
look
ain't
at
buying
OBV.
it.
Let me
for the
just see
record.
what I think about it, just so I can get a little more flavor. Let's just kind of, yeah.
I mean, I think if
Okay.
you're buying it at 5.5, you're trying to get out at 6.5. So
I would hope so. I would hope so. It's another one with like a trillion circulating, right? Is he going to bail out the industry? Wasn't he talking about bailing out?
I don't know. My biggest red flag is when someone says they're going to bail out the industry now. I'm triggered by that because of SBF. So whatever.
SPF 40. We need SPF from SBF from the the
Dude, he's got to make
fallout.
money somehow. SPF, I think is a great business idea.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. So I don't know. It's okay. It's a little choppy. It's not my kind of chart.
No, me either. But what I was talking about, just pull it up. You have this sort of red area, right? That's the bottom of these candles, bottom of these candles, bottom of these. I mean, that's a little dramatic, but like 5.5 cents.
Sure.
And you can't buy it now, but like you could buy a flip of that. But like, what are you targeting?
Would you?
That's only 6.5 cents.
There's cleaner trades. Like we just looked at Sol. That's a much better chart to trade. I would just, all things you've limited time and focus. Just play the cleanest setups, unless you're in love with TRX, and then we can't help you. So
if you're, there's a cool truck called a TRX.
Okay. There you go.
By the way, TRX, it sounds like T-Rex. This is a completely non-related story, and we're going to go. I got stuck flying out to Colorado in Dallas, and it took us 26 hours like a few weeks ago to get out there. We had to spend the night, but I had to like sit with this agent for like an hour and a half to fix all the flights that the previous agent had messed up. And there's something with flights called TRXing or T-Rexing. You ever heard of this?
I have not.
There were 8 of us, and I'm so triggered now by T-Rex or Trex because this guy said it like 9,000 times on the phone with this guy. Oh, well, is Melker TRX'd? No, he's T-Rex'd.
Does that mean, do you have enough TRX? It's like, are you loaded enough?
Now I can't hear T-Rexing and TRXing. It just drives me fucking nuts. Anyways, dude, we did it.
We did it.
Thank you for sticking with me through all of that. We're like, hey, you want to be a guest? By the way, pull up every chart that looks bad and let's talk about it.
Cheds doesn't mind looking at charts with his friends.
No, it's fun. Charts with friends. That's what we're going to call Tuesdays. Charting with friends.
Charting with friends.
It'll be like a Bob Ross sort of image, painting little trees on charts.
That's it. Happy little moving average.
Good vibes. All right, guys, I'm going to let Cheds go. We went over. So, dude, trading quotes. Everybody buy it now, maybe like right now.
It's all good. Like it's trading wisdom.
Can I give them away next time? Can I buy some from you and give them away to people or something?
I can ship them out to you, and just give them out. Not a problem. It's a cool book. I'm definitely proud of it, but I'm not going to break my back trying to sell it. I just want to enjoy life right now. I had worked so hard last year, and I want to enjoy what I built last year. So
does that mean you're going to tweet less? You said you were going to tweet less.
Yes, I'm going to tweet way less. I mean, I'm still I want to be of value, and if important things are happening, I'll report on it. But I'm not going to report every 4-hour Bollinger pinch or break my back just to stay relevant. I mean, I want to enjoy life, and I'm going to try to do that. So it is what it is, brother.
Yeah, well,
that means video games.
Have fun staying less bored, I guess. Something. Well, guys, that's all I got for you tomorrow. I don't know, man. We got another guest. It's a Wednesday. We do things, and I'll tell you who it is tomorrow. So everybody, thank you so much. Huge thanks to Big Cheds. Go follow him on Twitter. Check out the book, all those things. He's also got some other big things coming that he maybe not be telling you about, I think, down the road. Maybe.
Down the road.
So he's not going to be bored that long. All right, man. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the next time we get to do this. Everybody, see you tomorrow. Peace.